Example 2. Determine the maturity value after 18 months for an investment of $15,000 at 11% compounded quarterly. Let's take a look at the known information. In our timeline, we know that we have an 18-month time period, so let's mark that on the timeline, 18 months. And we have an investment of $15,000, so that's the present value. Present value is $15,000, so I'll mark that on the timeline where it belongs. And we also know that the interest rate is 11% compounded quarterly. So at a rate of 11% compounded quarterly, what do I know? I know that the interest rate is compounded 4 times per year. So that means that I can calculate the rate per period by taking that 11% and dividing it by 4 quarters per year. And so that gives me an interest rate of 2.75% per quarter. And it's very important that we make a note of the fact that the interest is calculated per quarter. Because when I take a look at this time diagram here and realize that I need to determine the maturity value after 18 months, I begin to realize that I need to convert the number of months into the number of quarterly periods, because the compound interest formula requires that the number of interest periods and the interest rate per period must be with the same frequency. So the question is, how many interest periods are there in 18 months? Well, 18 months is a year and a half, 1.5 years, and 1.5 years is 4 quarters plus another 2 quarters for the half year. So that gives me a total of 6 quarterly periods, 6 quarters for that 18-month period. So now I can refer back to my formula for maturity value is equal to the principal multiplied by the compound interest factor, 1 plus I to the positive exponent n, and I've got a principal of $15,000, and I'm going to multiply that by the compound interest factor of 1 plus 0.0275 raised to the exponent 6. And that's my compound growth factor. In other words, using your calculators, you will end up with a maturity value of $17,651.53. And so the maturity value of this $15,000 investment after 18 months is $17,651.53.